All right then. There's a lot of room for me to explore. I love the idea of a little trade area. That's actually fantastic. I really like that. Really like that. Now, let's go ahead and wander down this road, and we can go and check out Shelab's place. Need to drive back this dirt a little bit if I can to make that a little bit nicer, I would say. Modern trucks are pretty expensive, I imagine. Got a little spot here. Nice little house. Peering through the window like some sort of peeping Tom. My lord, where are my manners? I apologize. River Shark. Nice big open kitchen there. With a whole heck of a lot of stuff on top. What on earth? It's steam truck. Right. Some sort of vehicular engagement happened there. Now, this is Shelab's store, and it has come such a long way. Oh, my lord. We've also got a nice little thing. Shelab's Cookhouse. Though that is kind of the wrong way around, but Shelab has been making parking spaces for peeps. Though that leads down to the area down below. Cred store. Silver Clover store. Shelab's Cred store. Sell any veg or carcass and get fed. Currently, extra specially needing bolito mushrooms, beets, pineapples, fiddlehead ferns, pumpkins, huckleberries, prickly pears, and you can sell these items for double credits. The Silver Clover store over here is exactly the same concept as I have in mind for my store, where you can use silver clovers to buy things, but if you don't have enough silver clovers to do something, then you can at the very least make some money, and as Shelab Sign says, you can just sell vegetables here, and it'll give you enough to get something. Like, so for example, someone could just go and grab some tomatoes. Let's have a look at how much they would cost. 0.5. So let's say they wanted a meal, like just something that would give them some fat and protein. Let's say baked roast. They'd only need to sell 12 tomatoes. You can get that by accident, much less actually going out there and looking for tomatoes. You can get a baked tomato for 5. You have to put in a decent amount there. That's 10 items for that. That's 15 vitamins, though. Baked meat for 5. Massive amounts of protein. So it's a really wonderful idea because it allows people who haven't yet gotten started with the economy, and there's definitely a lot of people who haven't got much silver clovers, access the things they need. Because at the end of the day, food is something that if you don't have it, you can't gain skill points easily, or you're very limited in how much skill points you can have. It's the same with living spaces, with bedrooms and the likes. If you don't have a well-furnished one, your ability to gain more skill points and advance on the server is greatly diminished. Food especially, though, because to build furniture, you need skills to be able to do that yourself, or you rely on trade. Well, if you already don't have money to buy food, and you don't have money to buy furniture, food will also serve the double purpose of giving you access to actually being able to use your abilities. So things like this, I believe this is true of Nobodao as well. Hello, Shelab. They're effectively feeding the server, making sure that people have a way to get access to food. Because if they don't, it's a bigger detriment to them than not. They're not having access to furnishings or building materials. Those things can be gotten in time, but without food, you can't even really do proper work. And if you fill your belly up with just tomatoes, because it's the only thing you can get, then you don't have, you don't have the particularly good diet, which is going to give you access to much higher skill gains. Like you might have like 14 skill multiplier instead of like 80 or even more. This is Shelab's modern kitchen there, a much smaller area, but she's just running off the little steam engine there. And massive lumber stockpiles, absolutely ginormous. Lovely little house at the top there. It's actually really pretty area. Really pretty area. Hey, Shelab. I'm just gonna pop down here to see the place you've got built for deliveries, I'm assuming. I imagine there's going to be massive stockpiles in here as well. Yes, huge stockpiles. Oh, actually, these ones aren't as big. These are just regular stockpiles, it looks like. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That's really cool. I really like this. You can definitely see in the patchwork of the ceiling where the more demanding rooms are, the ones that need to be made of more modern material. I think everyone gets that a little bit after a while. If you look at the ceiling or the floor, it's like, okay, I can see which rooms are above or below this one. Demon works. It actually demonstrates the true nature of poverty fairly well. Yes, exactly. Exactly. If you don't have food, if you don't have a good house, then you are going to develop your skills slowly. You will be kept down, which is why I really like the idea. It was why I came up with the idea to have a store that had multiple. I think Sheila wants me to go and check out her house, but why I decided to have a way of gaining access to materials, even if you didn't have money. Because a new person to the server won't have money. Oh, this is lovely. I love the candles on top of the fireplace as well. That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous in here. I like this is the look of lumbered wood, not hewn logs. Lovely rug there. Quite modern. Very swanky seating. Very, very swanky indeed. With a little bookcase as well. That's actually quite gorgeous. I love the otters. Little otters everywhere. Wall hanging lamps. Those are much higher tier. Bedroom. Another fireplace. Everyone has fireplaces pretty much everywhere, I think. And back here, the shops. And I imagine the actual kitchens. And because a lot of stuff that comes from cooking doesn't require a stockpile, it's something that can fit into a chest. A lot of Shelab storage, and unlike like a mason, for example, or a carpenter, needs a lot of storage room because a lot of the materials require large storage. Shelab can put a lot of things into chests, which actually makes things a lot easier for her. There we are. We've got a balcony area as well. We've got over there the steam engine. And more bedrooms. Oh, that's actually really, really cute. That's a double bedroom. Wow. Okay, it's quite a squished in little bedroom. The little wash tub as well, and two toilets, an old lavatory, a wooden latrine, and an actual porcelain toilet. Well, I say porcelain, might not be. And these are more and more of Shelab stoves. This is actually marvelous, really marvelous. And again, loads of storage space. Absolutely loads of storage space. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm loving seeing how the world has changed. I love seeing how the world has changed. Let's have a look at what's going down in chat. Just talking about prices, just kind of stabilizing the economy. But yeah, and talking about the economy, and again, this is the whole thing. Some people wield the economy a bit like a club. I'm going to be perfectly honest about it. Some people literally wield the economy to the detriment of others, not necessarily to the benefit of themselves. Obviously, there's quite a lot to be said about the way people use certain systems and the effort to improve your own personal situation. And then there's something to be said about, you can get higher than someone else on the ladder in one of two ways. One, you can climb higher than them, or two, you can pull the ladder from under them and pull them down the ladder. Either way, you end up higher up. And one of the things that I have been kind of from I always look at people, and I am so guilty of this, and I know it must frustrate some people, but I can't shake the part of my degree that taught me to think about thinking, and also taught me to think about people and watch them. I mean, I always watched people anyway, and that's probably why I always developed an interest in intelligence and the act of thinking and the idea of synthetic intelligence. So honestly, for me, it was less synthetic intelligence, just more synthetic thought, more the idea of synthetic sapience. But regardless, my degree really, really emphasized and perhaps gave me new tools in my toolbox. Let's put it like that. I already had a toolbox that perhaps was had quite a lot of tools for the purpose of observing people and noting things. about the way people interacted. But my degree definitely expanded that quite a lot. In an odd way, because you wouldn't have thought that a degree in natural and artificial intelligence would teach you so much about people, but it really did. Yes, it has been very interesting, and especially from an academic point of view, just to observe and see. Oh, okay, so this is how this person reacts, and this is how that person reacts, and sometimes it's been surprising, and sometimes it hasn't at all. But it's always been interesting to just see how people interact with one another, and what they do to each other. And perhaps some of the big things for me taking away from any kind of opportunity to observe is who, when they're in a position where a particular action is of no particular benefit to them. Perhaps they're in such an advantaged position that nothing matters to them because they're in a place where they need nothing. They have no particular stresses. How they mobilize their efforts and their material wealth or their privilege position to the detriment of someone else, or to the benefit. Why? When? How is this being decided? What are the criteria that are going into it? And again, this is one of the things that I feel that Eco is just fantastically good at doing. It's a game where it's not just a game about ecology, and it's a game about people. You learn an awful lot about them. It's really, really interesting. Really interesting. Let's check out what's going on in chat. Follow the hopping Shelab. Yeah, I know. On a scale of I'm evil to I'm super evil, why are you bringing about the death of this world? I mean, I'm assuming, I can only assume that you're talking to one particular person in there. And I'll be honest, I'm just gonna nix that one. Leafin is absolutely not killing the world. Leafin is 100% being a troll, and also 100% for sciencing the effect, the real effect of pollution. Or the how extreme it needs to be to have a noticeable effect, as much as it's like, well, I didn't need someone to tell me that pollution was bad. You also don't necessarily know how bad pollution needs to be before it becomes noticeable, like practically affecting. There's a point. There's a point with that. Everyone fawns over the idea for sciencing when it's something ridiculous, but when it's something like that does actually have an outside chance of possibly causing damage, it's like, oh my lord, you monster! And don't get me wrong, Leafin is 100% a monster. Yeah. He's kind of more of the Cyclops variety, short, stubby though, one big eye for a body and a mouth. Maybe it does a bit of stand-up comedy every now and then, but yeah. Oh, you are, Leafin. Don't you lie. You relish the role. This role fits you like a glove. Fits a foot. I've got lots of things that I need to set up over here. Oh, my lord. So many things. Yeah, Manga Pork. If mankind ever had two Earths, by now we would only have one because science. Yes. Absolutely. We take it a little bit more serious than this one. It's like, well, we've only got one Earth, so we really can only perform this particular experiment once. So let's save that one, and let's do some of the less only once experiments first. We will come back to this one, though. Mark it down on in the diary. 2020. Oh, poop. That explains so much. Ah. But moving along. But yes. Right. Aavak, don't we call those socks? I mean, you can call them socks if you want. I call them foot gloves. But yes, I've got a fair bit more work to do over here. But we've got much more of the world to explore. Much more of the world to explore. Okay, so we've seen Shelab's cookhouse. We've got a little place over here. Shall I drive around to say I don't want to leave my car, my truck in the way? I feel it would be a bit of a potch for people. So we're gonna, yeah, I'm gonna. No, actually, that's a reasonably far way to work. I'm gonna wander over here. I'm gonna park up. I'm sure I'll be able to find somewhere, and we're gonna have a little bit more of a look. But first, I'm gonna move over these, thunk, and then top up my the fuel. There we go. Right, let's go. I really do feel that this game is going to become amazing once they put a little bit more time into optimizing it, and especially the government. The only complaint that I've had of the game so far, and this does include even some of the stuff that's been going on, as I mentioned, that is meant that I haven't had the energy all the time to stream as much as I'd wished I had. The only part of the game that I would legitimately say, I kind of have a complaint about this is the government system, and the fact that it's half in, but really not even realistically half. It's mostly outside of the game. Welcome to the beachside picnic area. Oh, that's lovely. I thought that was someone's house, but no, it's actually a picnic area. That is gorgeous. Oh my lord. But yeah, the government system, I know a lot of people were really excited for that, in the same way that I think a lot of people were super excited about getting a functioning economy going. Like, a lot of people have an idea of what an economy would be like. So this was their opportunity to test their theories. What would make for a good economy? I hope that fox got out of the way. I'm going to be really risky, and I'm going to just hope that is in a safe place and no one's going to be trying to drive up here. But I will move it in a moment's notice if it's not, if someone needs to move past. But I just want to have a quick look around. Got a couple of buildings here and there. Got some fields down there. Quite a few, actually. That's the oil refinery. But to be fair, a great effort has been made to make that pretty. That's why the picnic area is there. Probably is to hide what's underneath. And again, that's kind of shows the people who are working with each other and for each other. There's nothing there that needs to be covered up. I don't think it functionally loses anything by being covered up, but it certainly doesn't gain anything by being covered up. But it's in the town, and probably the only person that will affect is whoever lives here and Shelab. But an effort has been made to actually make it pretty. And I think that says so much about the person doing it. I don't actually know who is. And I'm not even going to check. They know who they are, and they're awesome. And it's just little things like that. There's a lot of learning in this game, and it's something you don't often get an opportunity to do in the wild. And I'm very thankful for these opportunities that Eco has offered. Let's squeak down a little bit. Let's have a look at this. Vite's farm. If you have spare dirt, this stockpile and 2 more at the top of the hill are open for dropping off dirt. The logs are for someone else. Have a great day. Probably they put logs in there, and please use the right tunnel. And they just wanted to make sure the right person picked them. Lady Shelab in chat. Aavak, it's actually an oil refinery, the picnic area. Yeah, no, I get it now. And Alamia didn't want my cookhouse to lose its view. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I've said their name now. I suppose I can just look it up now. That would make sense. They're actually there. But no, I think that kind of thing is just, I really appreciate these opportunities to see what people do when they don't have to, and what people do when they can. Goes both ways, but it's always interesting. Eco is a very, very, very fun game from the perspective of someone who just likes. I don't know. It's kind of a fun game in the same way The Sims is a fun game. You can see how different people play a game where things don't realistically matter and they have ridiculous amounts of power. It's like, does someone play The Sims and actually just genuinely tries to make a lovely life for their sim and starts to care about them? Or do they, just look for imaginative ways to kill them. Are they actually hurting anyone when they do that? No. Not at all. But to imply that it doesn't speak to something in them, that is how they seek their pleasure, well, that is a mistake. Because it does absolutely speak to that. There is something going on inside them that drives them to seek enjoyment in the misery of digital beings who can't even feel pain. They can only offer a simulated echo of misery, but it's enough for them. And yes, I am calling so many people out with that statement. I don't care. Let's just park there. No, not a cephalopod. Imaginative ways to kill them. Okay, I feel personally attacked. Good. Good, you sociopath. No. Again, games are games, and no one's actually been. Oh, marvelous. I like this little place out here, just looking out into the ocean. The ocean that isn't yet polluted. That's always a good thing. Farming skill scrolls. Nice. Basic backpacks are also available. I don't think anyone would need to buy a basic backpack. I think everyone has a basic backpack. I had not noticed that the pumpkins have different faces. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But given that, what do you think of the game Tyranny? I really enjoy Tyranny. Really enjoy it. I think it's a fantastic game because it... And honestly, I think that true of Pillars of Eternity. I haven't played Pillars 2. I love games that give that real sense of, hey, what would you do? What would you do in this situation? And it's especially fun for someone like me because I really enjoy role-playing my games. I don't have to, but I enjoy... Like, usually I'll start off with a concept of the character, and that's the only thing governing my decisions initially. But as, like, the first big choices that I encounter, I just try to think, what would my character do? Based on what I know about them, what's my gut tell me that I do? And I don't try to overthink it. I try to just jump into it, or at least I initially form a fairly strong idea, and then I might think about it a little bit more and discuss it and ah about it. But I usually have that initial gut reaction, and that is 9 times out of 10, or well, maybe 8 times out of 10, the one that I'll go with. But after that first choice, that choice is now also influencing and informing my future decisions. Every new decision gives me a bigger, more rich, more detailed picture of the person that my character is. Every big decision I make helps me make the next big decision, gives me more of a grounding in how would my character perceive this situation? What are the things that they care about? What would they do in this situation? And so Tyranny has been a crazy ride for me. Crazy ride. And I can't wait to get back to it. I really can't. I love that game so much. And I love games like it so much. Let's try and squeak through here. Oh, no, I didn't quite squeak well enough. This is so dangerous. I swear I was ready to have to dig my truck out of the water there. So ready. Joking aside though, Aavak, you were the one that sparked my interest in the story and the exploration of games, instead of just rushing through everything and simply enjoying the gameplay. Oh, thank you, Leafin. That actually means quite a lot. Thank you. That is sincerely high praise, and I really appreciate that. I'm very, very, very proud to have been a part of the influence in that. Hello, crocodile. Or alligator. I'm actually not. I'll be perfectly honest and confess my ignorance. I don't know how to tell a crocodile from an alligator by looks. I really... Like... I don't know if anyone else gets this, but even if it's something I'm realistically never going to need that information for, like, because, you know, the wild alligator population in Wales, but there's a part of me that's like, if I ever identify a gap in my knowledge, I feel almost, like, deeply offended with myself. It's like, how dare you in the modern age when you literally carry the entire sum total of human knowledge in your phone, in your pocket? How dare you not know a thing? You disgust me. You have forgotten the face of your father. I don't know if anyone else gets that kind of effect, but it's particularly strong in me. I always feel like I need to apologize for every random thing I don't know. It's like, what am I doing with my life? Let's see if chat has got some answers for me. Someone's screen cap leafing, being sincere. For posterity. Angela's falling. Sky. Crocodiles don't fully shut their mouth. Ah, okay, that's the main visual difference. So alligators completely close their mouth, but crocodiles always have it slightly, slightly open. Okay. Marrow. Crocodiles are C-shaped more than alligators, which are A-shaped. I can't tell if you're taking the piss or actually talking about some part of them, like the shape of their head or something. I sincerely don't know, and this is the most awesomely funny feeling because that's just such a really moment. But there's that little part of me that's like, that sounds just stupid enough that it might actually be true. I need someone to wiki this and confirm or deny that. I need you to tell me. Mango Pork, you raised a very good point, but it kind of hurts my soul that point is so good. If you can access the sum total of human knowledge at any time, because you literally carry the internet around in your pocket, why bother knowing stuff? You can just check it when it comes up. I mean, I can think of a fairly, edge case where that would be useful, and that's during the zombie apocalypse and or whatever 2020 has waiting for us at the end is this kind of crescendo. Because let's be honest, it's probably like some sort of action movie / horror flick / thriller / I don't know, and it's building up. The crescendo is coming. We're not there yet. We're still reaching for it. So whatever goes on at the end, maybe suddenly I'm not going to have the internet in my pocket anymore because the internet is going to be on fire along with everything else in the world, except for people who manage Iceland, Greenland. The only place it's going to be Greenland. We're all going to need to get to Greenland, and then just happening to know how to build a nuclear power plant will be useful. Oh, it's back to front, but it is actually true. Oh my god. Crocodiles have an A-shaped snout, and alligators have a C-shaped snout. So it's... wow! See, there was a part of my brain that was tickling, and it was like, no, this sounds dumb enough that it could actually be true. It was back to front, but that is so amazing. Absolutely amazing. Mango Poke. I like the idea that mobile phones are basically augmentations that effectively make us superhuman. They may not hook directly up to our brains, but they are still interfaced with, just with our thumbs. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. We are everything the Mechanicus could ever hope to be. We're in direct contact with the machine spirit at all times. The Omnissiah is blessing us with his knowledge whenever we particularly want it. Let's get back down here. This world tour is mostly me driving through tunnels so far. Not a cephalopod. So, they basically pulled an Iceland Greenland with crocodiles and alligators. Yes, they did. And the first time I discovered the whole Iceland Greenland thing was a game of Trivial Pursuit, and I felt so betrayed. So betrayed. Young Aavak believed that the rules of the world were the rules. He'd seen all of the videos in English class when he was trying to learn how to understand the craziness of English words. He'd seen the Magic E video. He believed the I before E except after C. This was a simpler time, a more innocent time. And then just as I was starting to come to grips with the fact that, well, actually, maybe this is all a lie. I don't know why the adults would do this to me, but I've got a funny feeling they did. And just that beginning of betrayal. Then I get slapped in the face by, herder. You know, which one's cold? And he's like, haha, it's Greenland, you fool. It's like, oh, I hate life. And that's probably where Dark Aavak began his journey. Young Aavak just sat there, super innocent. All of a sudden, it was the transition between Enzo and Matrix, basically. You send a smooth-faced young boy in one end, out you get someone with a cyber eye, permanent 5 o'clock shadow, doesn't trust anyone, just wants to kill Megabyte. That's all. His life exists for vengeance. That's basically what happened. In a nutshell. I need to go up. Because I do believe we have got... What? And now I can't go up a ladder. Once again, betrayed. Why can't I go up the ladder, though? This one is a mystery. Oop. There we go. Perfect. TLDR, as far as I can recall, Brain is more than happy to place or replace memory capabilities with more processing power and just outsourcing storage into the internet. Yeah, basically, right? Also, I'm now reading medical studies about internet exposure's effect on brains instead of sleeping, and I'm blaming you for this, Aavak. Fair. Yeah, it did look like I was getting stuck on the light. It was probably a little bit of a lag artifact. Eric the Red called Greenland green as a marketing campaign to encourage settlement there over Iceland. I hope that's true. Just had to refresh the stream because my internet crapped out for a second. I got a Sky Broadband ad. The irony of it is that I'm already with them. And the further irony is that it crapped out and that's why you had to see the ad. That's awful. We're good at making things into extensions of ourselves, I guess. Not just physical tools, but mental ones. No, absolutely. Absolutely. But let's go and check out stream rates. That came quickly. It feels like I barely did anything.